All right, we're watching Will's breaststroke. We're going to watch here underwater a little bit. As we're starting to watch this, Will, don't forget to make sure you're checking out the notes that Lynette has put in the email as well. Just a different set of things that we can look at that we're seeing here that we want to see you trying to work better on, and other things, of course, that you're doing really well. A couple things real quick that we see. We love how high your hands are above the water, like how you're really fully extending that breaststroke. Like how you're finishing your kick, but you got to really make sure you kind of see those feet are a little bit out of line. Make sure those feet, those heels, those toes come together and they stay in one line all the way together. These are all things that, you know, are easy to see, but we're going to kind of slow everything down even a little bit more and kind of take it step by step. So let's rewind you here a little bit. And as we get into your breaststroke here, the first thing we want to talk about is how quickly and how easily you get your head up. Your head position coming up pretty early like that is really, really good. The other thing we really like is you can see right here, your shoulders are a little bit above the water depth, which is really, really good. You want to make sure you're getting high in that water with your shoulders, letting that head come out of that water a little bit better, and that looks great. From underwater, we like this view. As you bring your hands, you're right near the surface, and you do a great job of getting that head down as your hands start to fall in forward. That's fantastic, Will. Now, the one thing we like real quick is right here, as you're just fully getting extended with your hands, you can see your eyes are down, and that's great. You're right in the middle of your kick. You get your toes pointed out to the side. That's fantastic. But the one thing we want you to be careful about is this. So as you start to get halfway through your kick, you can start to see you lift your chin up a little bit, and then your feet or your eyes are coming up a little bit more than we'd like to see. Make sure you keep that head more in that position, that downward position. The idea is keeping your spine in line and making sure that head is always looking down. All right, so as you lift your head up, you don't want to be lifting your chin. You can see right here, you're lifting your chin and your eyes are actually looking more forward than in a downward position. So do try to keep your head looking a little bit more down. Again, as you start to get your hands forward, you can see that head comes in that water really, really well. Again, your hands are pretty high in that water. Here's the surface, so your hands are pretty much right near the top. That's fantastic. The one thing, like we talked about a little bit earlier, your kick, you can see that your one foot's there, your one foot's up, down, a little bit lower. You want to make sure those feet stay together. When you finish that kick, make sure those feet are staying together. Let that get into your next stroke. You do a really good job of starting the next stroke as soon as your feet do come together, but we want your feet in the same plane. We don't want one higher than the other. And as you get right next to us, you're going to see a little bit better. Man, those hands, that pull, that looks great. Right here in the catch, you can see pressing out here, pressing. This one's a little bit more down, but your right hand here, you're doing a great job pressing out. Turn that left hand a little bit more this direction. Press out just a little bit better. Not much, just a little bit. Okay, so right here you can see one leg higher than the other. You want to make sure those legs are together. As far as your body being in the right plane, though, that's pretty good. Very well done there, Will. Keeping your hands nice and high. Again, a little more head movement than we want to see. We want to lift your head up. We don't want to lift your chin up. All right, as we get into our turn here, good job of getting your hands in that wall. But you can kind of see right here, your hips are going flat in that wall. You can kind of tell, and I don't know if I can draw it or not, but you can kind of tell that you got a little bit of an arch in your back. You want to try and keep that back a little bit more straight, and you want to make sure you stack your feet here and here on top of each other. Don't let them be quite so side to side. Make sure you drive those knees in that wall. Okay, and you can see your one foot is here, one foot is here, your left foot's here. That means your one knee is pointed up here, but that means your other knee is pointed out that direction. So we're using this black line. We want those feet more in this position here, and we want those knees a little bit more in this position here and this position here. Okay, so as you're coming off that wall, your knees are a little bit up. Your streamline, you've got it partially there. You got your hands stacked really well, but you can see there's a lot of bend in those elbows. So let's try to make sure we get those elbows a little bit more locked in right behind those ears. All right, so the one thing you did well is you did the dolphin kick at the start of that stroke. What we want to see you do is wait a good 3 seconds. So from the time you leave the wall to the time you start your pull, it should be 3 seconds. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Then we want to see a dolphin kick with that streamline and wait for about a half a second to a second, then do your pull. Now as you started your pull here, you want to make it from, rewind just a little bit, from basically your shoulders all the way down to your hips. You want to make that a nice snap. You want to really accelerate those hands all the way to those thighs. You want to see your hands come to the front of your thighs. You can actually see that your hands are above your legs. So you're kind of taking yourself out of that body position as far as your streamline goes. Eyes are looking a little bit forward, not too badly though. I do like your head position there. And other than your hands, this body position here, really, really nice job. You just don't want your hands above the body position. And that's why you want to keep them on your thighs up in front. That helps keep your shoulders a little bit more streamlined. Nice job of getting your hands up. Nice job of finishing that kick. This is one of the best ascents to the top of the water that I've seen from anybody. So we're really, really pleased with that. You do a great job of lifting your head up pretty early. Just be careful not to do that pull too quickly. When your hands get rid of that. Once your hands are right here, okay, that head's got to break the surface, and you can see your head's right at the surface, just about to break. So, I mean, you timed it pretty well, but you want to be careful. You got to get it maybe timed just a little bit better because you don't want to be right, because sometimes people maybe see the wrong thing. But again, hands look great in that water. Well done, buddy.